Hey everyone, this video I'm posting today is one that I made about a year ago after an encounter with the local police. And even though my telling of the story just drips with white privilege, I thought I would go ahead and release this video and also say that I've come to realize that just being aware of injustices is not doing anything about it. You really need to, I really need to get out there and try to make a difference somehow. Don't know exactly what to do, but just voting and bitching about it on Facebook really isn't enough. So here's the video. Hope you enjoy it, and thanks. Hey again, folks. No music on this video. I just have to relate a little story that happened to me yesterday. I had a bit of a stressful situation, and I found that after I came home, and a few hours later, I was playing through some Bach, and I was just stumbling around and just forgetting things. And, you know, it didn't feel like I was under any stress. And even at the time, it didn't seem like a stressful situation. My heart rate wasn't up or anything. But for the rest of the day, I just found it very difficult to concentrate. I can kind of understand why if somebody gets held up at an ATM, they can't remember their passcode, because the stress of the situation just keeps your mind from focus. And I'm going to relate the incident to you. It's encountered this before, like playing in a band, and maybe I've been fired and it's my last week, and so you're trying to play extra good, to prove them wrong, or maybe the whole band has been fired and so the band is trying to play really good on their last night. Or you always end up playing very poorly under those situations, or unless you can keep your mind relatively uncluttered and focus on what you're doing, it's just very, very difficult. So, when you're getting ready for a performance, anything you can do to relieve stress and get the extraneous things out of your mind will certainly help, I'm sure. So anyway, here's my story. About a week ago, I ride my bike just about every day, and about a week ago I was riding around one of the neighborhoods that's on my route, and a lady pulled out of her driveway, and as she's making the turn, something falls off the top of her car. So I stopped my bike and looked down. It's a nice pair of sunglasses. And it says Vogue on the sunglasses with some little rhinestones or something. And so, the lady's already down the street there. So I pick up the sunglasses, and not a mailbox, but a little house number sign in front of the house with the house number on it. And it's black. So I hang the sunglasses on the sign, so hopefully she'll see them. But the sunglasses are black and the sign is black. So, I'm driving down that neighborhood about a week later, and I see that the sunglasses are still hanging there on the signpost. Without even getting off my bicycle, I took the sunglasses, went about 10 feet up her driveway, looked on her garage door, didn't see any handle or anything to hang them on, so I just set them up on the railing of her porch and down the driveway and off onto my ride. I probably was there 15 seconds. So I take my ride. About half an hour later, I'm coming back down the street. I'm about a block from my house. I'm actually on the corner of the block that I live on, and I live on a busy street. I notice there's a cop car coming down the side street. I hear him jump out of his car and yell, "Drop the bike." So I dropped the bike. I stood there. He comes over, starts asking me, "What are you doing?" Or all of a sudden, there's 4 cop cars there and about 6 police officers. I don't wear a helmet. I suppose I should, but I don't. I guess a few minutes before I was getting it was pretty hot, so I pulled the shirt up and it was kind of up around my neck like that. So I more or less don't have a shirt on. I got blue jeans on. Hundreds of cars going by. I'm standing there handcuffed with no shirt on for a half an hour, and on the radios and talking. And I said, "Well, what did I do?" I said, "Other than riding my bike on the sidewalk, what's going on?" He says, "Oh, plenty more." Turns out a lady had called in a complaint and had seen me do something with the sunglasses, and the cops were all over this. After I'd been there about 20 minutes, one of the cops reads me my rights and asked if I want to have a lawyer present while he asked me a few questions, and I said no. And he asked me, "Do you know anything about this particular street?" And I didn't know what street he was talking about, and he says, "It's up in this neighborhood up here." I said, "Oh, yes, okay." 10 or 15 minutes go by, and I'm standing there bare-chested, handcuffed. Neighbors are going by and everything. And For once in my life, I felt like a man. Anyway, I came home and told my wife. She was horrified. I didn't go up on the porch. I just, reached up to the railing and set them up there from the driveway. But anyway, once they went back and found the house and found the sunglasses that I was able to describe and everything, they finally let me go. And those handcuffs are tight. I had marks on my wrists for several hours afterwards. But I couldn't play worth a shit. I mean, I taught a few lessons, and I was kind of, excited, so I did really good, I thought, teaching. I had a lot of energy and just felt good. But I just couldn't play because I just kept reliving that experience in my mind, not wanting to forget any details. Had I been a younger person or from a different ethnic background, it could have been even worse than it was. So, I'm thankful it all resolved okay. And I feel for those people that, aren't as believable perhaps as I was and was able to get out of the situation okay. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. And see you again on the channel real soon. Thanks.